Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to another week of remote learning. So, I hope everybody had a great weekend. I know we had a really nice day Saturday. Mrs. Janik, Nathaniel, and I moved 10 yards of mulch, which is a lot of mulch. And I moved about 5 ton of rock, which is a lot of rock. I wonder how much a ton is, if anybody remembers. I did 5 of those. I moved them, redid all the planters and everything around the house. But it was gorgeous out there. Saturday was gorgeous. Yesterday, we really didn't do much. Stayed in the house, played some games, baked some cookies, just sort of relaxed because it was a rainy day. Today is not supposed to be the greatest, but tomorrow's supposed to be gorgeous. So let's get all of our work done for today so that tomorrow afternoon we can get outside. This week's going to run just like last week. There's going to be a lesson on Monday. Tuesday's just going to be to get everything done from Monday. Wednesday, I'm going to give you guys a word problem day. It's going to incorporate all the things that we've done last week and this week in some word problems. Then Thursday, you'll have a little bit of catch up time. And then Friday, we're going to have a quiz on everything that we've covered the last 2 weeks. The quiz is going to run just like how your classwork has run. I'm going to put it into a Google Forms, but that grade's actually going to go into the grade book, not be graded as these other lessons that have been done of like how well are you doing, how much have you done, how well you understand the concept. This is going to be just a basic grade like we would normally do on one of the quizzes if we were in school. So let's get to the work. Oh, last thing. Friday, I posted 2 videos on Edpuzzle where you only had to watch a 3-minute video and a 2-minute video and answer a couple questions that were in there. Probably the whole thing should have taken maybe about 20 minutes. I gotta say, from Miss Davis and my homeroom, 10 of you did your work. So to those 10, congratulations. In Miss Keogh's homeroom, 16 of you have done your work. So that's a really good number. Those of you who aren't doing your number, you got a lot of work from last week to make up for math. So hopefully you can get on board. If you have any questions, like I said last week, and the week before, and the week before that, reach out, send me an email, send Ms. Davis an email. If you can't make the Google Hangout times that we set up on Tuesdays and Thursdays, email us a better time that would be for you during the school day, and we could try to meet during those times. But otherwise, let's get to work and see what we got going on today. So if you watched the video on Friday, you noticed that the videos were on things called sequences. And that's what today's lesson is actually. We're going to work with what a sequence is. So when you came into the Nearpod today, first thing you saw was this essential question. It said, how are patterns used in mathematics? I can't wait to read your answers that you wrote here. Very excited for that. Then you also saw this problem. It said, Mrs. Jacobs writes numbers on the board in a pattern. What are the next 3 numbers in the pattern? The numbers are 10, 20, 40, 70, and 10, and describe the pattern. So for this, you had to figure out what was the difference first in this pattern. And if you watched the video before on Friday, we talked about what the differences are in between patterns. So let's look at this pattern right here. We have 10 and 20. We got to figure out the difference between that. Well, I know that that's 10. And then I have to figure out the difference between 10 and 20. And I know that that's 20. So if I'm looking at the pattern here, I notice that this first difference was 10. The second difference here was 20, and that they grew by adding 10. So let's see if that holds true for over here. So from 40 to 70, we had 40 over here, to 70. If I went 10, 20, growing between 40 and 70, if I'm adding by 10, should be not 20, but 30, because 2 plus 1 is 3. So if I go 40, 50, 60, 70, yep. So I know that the pattern grows by 10 from the previous number. So if I had 30 here, if I add 10, that's 40. So if I go 70 from 40, I get 110. And then if I keep on increasing what I'm adding over here, I'd add 50. And then over here, I would have added 60. And then the difference between these two, I know it's a little sloppy, would have increased to 70. And that would have given me 160, 220, and 290. So hopefully you had luck with that pattern. I know for a lot of these patterns, it takes a lot of thinking. You have to try to imagine or try to mathematically think what the difference is between these two numbers. So today, not only are we going to be looking at what the difference is between the numbers, but I'm going to be asking you to make an observation about the pattern. So my observation about this pattern was that the pattern increases by 10 from the previous number, or I could say that the numbers are even, odd, well, even, but the tens digit is odd. So there's a lot of different ways we can observe what's going on in these patterns here. So let's move on. The relationship between patterns and sequences. So we talked about it a lot the last couple days. What is a pattern? The pattern is the number that repeats itself, and the sequence is the series of events or the series that those numbers are actually going to show up. And we see it right here. Right? So here's our pattern. Pattern, something that repeats, and then a sequence is the order of events, how things actually occur from step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so our first question. Model 18 manipulatives. Demonstrate the rule, subtract 3 until you can't remove 3 objects. Complete the observation below. So we're going to start at 18. I'm going to show you this before. So if we start at 18 and then we remove 3, let me get to a colored pen here. We remove 3 from here. So 18 minus 3 brings me to 15. 15 minus 3 gives me 12. 12 minus 3 is 9. 9 minus 6 is 3. 9 minus 3 is 6, I'm sorry. 6 minus 3 is 3, and 3 minus 3 is 0. All right, so it gave me the first number to start with, and then it told me to remove, and I know that remove means subtract, and that gave me the rule that I was going to have to follow as I was going through. The total number of items in this sequence is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different numbers were in this sequence until we reached 0. The first number in this sequence was an even number, and the second number in the sequence was an odd number. And those are 2 observations that we can make about this sequence. Even, odd, even, odd, even, odd. And we can say that every other number is, or the sequence goes even and odd, and that's an observation that we can make about this pattern. A sequence starts with 4 and follows the rule add 5. Find the first 10 elements in the sequence, then write a story about the sequence. So here's the things that this problem is telling me to do. The sequence starts at 4. So the first number I'm going to have is 4. The rule is to add by 5. So from between 4 and the next number, I'm going to go to 5. So 4 plus 5 is 9. All right. And then I have to do this 10 times. So this is 1, here's 2, and I have to fill in 10 different spaces. So 9 plus 5 is 14. And then 14 plus 9 is, 14 plus 5 is 19. And then from 19, I'm going to go to 24. From 24, I'm going to go to 29. I wonder if I notice any observation here about the sequence of these numbers. Anything that looks the same. From 29, 5 more is 34. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got to go 3 more times. So I'm going to go 39. And then add 5 more is going to bring me to 44. Fit on the screen here. And then one more is going to bring me to 49. So I did it 10 times, like it said. I started with 4. I added 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 gives me the sequence. All right. And then your story, you can make up any story that you want to about what's going on here. This says Mike starts with $4 to save for a new bike. Each week he saves $5. After 9 weeks, he saved up to $49. And that would be the story about that sequence. All right, let's keep going forward. All right, Crystal starts reading her book on Monday. She reads 25 pages the first day. Each day she reads 25 pages. How many total pages will she have read by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? This one's pretty simple. All we're doing is adding 25. 25 plus 25 is 50. 50 plus 25 is 75. 75 plus 25 is 100. 100 plus 25 is 125. Crystal will have read blank pages by Tuesday. Tuesday would be 50. And by Wednesday, she would have read 50 pages. And by Thursday, she would have read 100 pages. And so on. And that's all we're doing for that one. Right? 50, 75, 100. And at the end on Friday, she's hit 125 pages. Let's look at this next example. The first term in this sequence is 65. Let me get my pen. Let's go green today. First term in the sequence is 65, so here's my first term. The sequence is to subtract by 4, so it's telling me the rule of what I actually have to do. Then find the next 4 terms. 1 term, 2 term, 3 term, 4 terms. So if I'm going to find the next term, 65 minus 4 is 61. Subtract 4 more is 57. So 7. All right, subtract 4 more is 50. It's hard to make a 3 on the cursor. 53. Subtracting 4 more is 49. All right. Then the next 4 terms in this sequence are going to be 45. And then minus 4 more would bring me to 44. And if I subtract 4 more, I'd be at 37. And then I'd be at 33. And if I went just a little further, I'd come all the way down to 29. There we go. That was the pattern we just had. See it? Oh,